Welcome back. You're watching News at Prime with me, Masa Kekana. Now, residents of Tshwane will have a new mayor next week, their 6th in 8 years. The Speaker of Council, Newzroom, was confirmed that a special council meeting will be held at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. The purpose will be to elect former Mayor Celia Brink's successor, who was ousted in a motion of no confidence last week. On Wednesday this week, the ANC and Action SA met as they sought consensus on which candidate they'll support to take over from Brink. Action SA is said to be lobbying for its candidate Nasiphi Moya, who is the current Tshwane Deputy Mayor. Thank you so much also for joining us, who is in studio with us right now, Dr Nasiphi Moya. Dr. Moya, thank you so much for joining us in studio.
And thank you for having me.
Now, before we even get to if you are going to be the next mayor of the city of Tshwane, I think we owe it to the residents of the city to just relate to them, what does this mean now that we've got this instability, 6 mayors in 8 years. Right now, you're acting in this position. There'll be a new mayor come Wednesday. What does this mean to the residents? Where does this leave them when it comes to service delivery?
I think what is important, Masa, is that we knew the chaos that will come with the coalition arrangements. We've seen it across the country, that while we're trying to figure out how they work, we're learning on the go. But I think what is important, and that has been my focus, is that residents should not be severely affected, especially service delivery, just because there's political instability. It may be an interruption because obviously it's not business as usual. However, there was an amendment that was done in the legislation where it actually said that the senior management of the city, senior management in government, they must be permanent. And that's because those are the people, that's the backbone of service delivery, the administration. And so for residents, it's unfair on them because the instability is not comfortable. However, it should not affect service delivery because for as long as the administration continues with the work that they're supposed to be doing, it should not affect, the service delivery in the city. But as I said, it's unfortunate because, of course, there's anxiety that gets created because they don't know what does it mean for us. The changes, will they be good for us? Or they will be worse. And I think it's something that as political leadership, we also, while we know that we're learning on the go, we also need to be sensitive, especially how we present these changes. Yes, we have our own rights as council to make changes that we need to make as a council, which includes changing leadership when we don't believe in leadership. However, we have a stakeholder that is looking at us and that depends on us to deliver services. So I also think as political leadership, we need to show some sensitivity when we go through our processes.
And I think we can all appreciate, Dr. Moya, what it should be and what should be happening and what should be ideal. But sometimes that's not the case. And right now, as it stands, there are service delivery concerns in the city of Tshwane. And I think what we should be talking about is what is being done and what not necessarily what we should be doing. So what is being done?
So basically what is being done is the continuity of service delivery. Not disregarding the fact that we all understand the challenges that the city of Tshwane has. In the main is the finances of the city. However, we do have an IDP as well as the budget that was approved for this financial year. So the administration is busy implementing that budget. However, obviously there's been crisis of service delivery in places like Mamelodi, for instance, the issue of water. We've had issues of sewer in certain regions and obviously issues of public lighting in most of our areas. So what we have been doing is just to make sure that we focus the administration in continuing with the services that they are delivering to the city. So obviously when I'm acting, it's just a few days, but that has been where the effort has gone to, just to refocus the administration to say, it's not that we don't have plans. The plans did not go out with the political executive. We continue to implement the budget as well as the IDP that was approved by Council from the 1st of July. We did have some unfortunate service delivery issues starting on Thursday last week, where we had fires that destroyed some farms. We've had issues, Pyramid substation burnt down, and we had the storm on Saturday night. So the officials have been on top of their game in responding to this. And I think that's where, for me, I'm saying the residents can get comfort from that the administration wasn't uninterrupted in any way other than the absence of a political executive.
And as you mentioned as well, you are acting for a couple of days, but that could change come Wednesday because your party as well is lobbying for you to take over the job that Celia Brink had done. Do you think that you're confident enough that you'll be able to turn things around in the city of Tshwane, and more importantly, that you'll be able to stay in that position should you be appointed to it?
On the first question, Masa, I think what is important is that obviously, yes, I do have confidence because, I mean, I've been in Tshwane. I've been a senior manager in Tshwane for 4 years. I've been the head of a mayor's office, so it's not that I'm not familiar with what is happening there. In addition to that, from the side of the party, I've been managing coalition on behalf of the party, and then the past 9 months, I've been the deputy executive mayor. So it's not only the qualifications, but it also comes with experience. But I think in this arrangement, it's never a one-woman's show. It's going to depend on the quality of leadership that forms the political executive, because I think it's in the sharing of the wisdom, especially with the challenges that we have in Tshwane. You need a sober political executive that can come with dynamic answers to the problems that we have in the city. So the confidence won't only come from what I know and the mandate that my political leadership is giving me, but also it will come from the quality of leadership that would be in that political executive, should that be an option for the leaders that are currently negotiating.
And before I let you go, Dr. Moya, working with the ANC, I mean, Action SA has been very vocal about your thoughts about working with the ANC. That obviously has now changed. Going into this new coalition, do you think that you will be able to, as parties, hold each other to account? Your party has accused the ANC of much corruption and maladministration. How are you going to be able to work with these kinds of people?
I think what is important is what I had also, my president, Mr. Mashabe, said, and I had one of the ANC leaders repeating it, that when you're in a coalition, it doesn't mean you must cover up for the bad things that we'll be doing or the wrong things that we'll be doing. In fact, we must be the first ones to hold each other accountable. But I think what will be important is how we're managing the coalition, where we can have a space where we can report, you know, to the leaders in terms of what is happening, what is going right, what is going wrong. And I think for me, it's those mechanisms that will assist us, that we can deal with these things decisively. One thing I've said when this conversation happened in my party, I said the first thing that I need, particularly for Action SA MMCs, is lifestyle audits. Because one thing that I would not want to be dealing with is corruption coming from the people from my party. That would cripple what we are trying to do. So I think the standing against corruption, that's number one for me. That's something that I would not tolerate at all. And I've said to my party, that's one of my biggest conditions that I'm giving to them.